don't think badly of me, but last week when I did this gimbal review, I actually had some footage in there that wasn't from my mobile phone. This bombshell right after this. Okay, so last week I reviewed the Smooth Q gimbal, and this week I've got a little confession to make. And you may recall that I basically said, don't even think about buying it, do yourself a favor, get the DJI. Yeah, I still stand by that, but you know what I did? Because I went and got myself the Lumix LX10 camera, I thought I could actually use the gimbal with that little camera. So like if you've got a Sony Mark V or whatever it's called, I'll put it on the screen now, or one of these little one of these small little cameras with the 1/8 sensor, they're about 400 grams. So I got to looking on eBay, on those sort of websites, and I discovered that you can actually buy a kit to modify your gimbal. So you know what you can do? You do it. It's about $100, and this is what it looks like. It's kind of been Frankensteined, but it actually worked. So it's obviously 3D printed, and there's a little counterweight here which adds overall weight to not just, you know, the gimbal that it can support, but also the camera itself. So it's definitely been taxing the motor in this, but generally speaking, it's actually pretty good. I found very little fault with it, except for just the pitch. Roll. The roll was sometimes a little bit off, but fortunately you can correct it just by hitting the button like this, and it fixes that little error. Unfortunately, I found my footage was a bit tilted after, so I'll just edit it, fix it up, and that way I had great looking video. Well, I hope I have great looking video. What do you reckon? Take a look at these samples and tell me what you reckon. So what did you think? I reckon it looks pretty awesome, and at 500 grams, I can't complain. My Glidecam was like more than 1.5 kilograms and cost over $1,000. So this thing for a bit over $200, including the gimbal and the little attachment, I think is great value. There are a few issues. First up, this little mount here where it interfaces between the camera and the screw is a bit dodgy. It's hard to actually mount it onto it. Secondly, it makes a bit of noise when you're actually shooting. So if you're going to use the onboard audio from your camera, just note that sound from the motors might actually get picked up. And lastly, you're going to have the look factor. People will look at you, you're going to draw attention to yourself. You might feel silly, especially doing that little silly walk that you have to do when you're actually doing the smoothest walk you can to get these great shots. But that all said, I'm very happy with my purchase and I'm glad I did it. So what do you think? Have you got one? Let me know. Put it down below. I'd like to hear your comments. And otherwise, if you haven't already, do me and the channel a huge favor. Subscribe, turn on those notifications, and if you haven't already, stay techie. See you next time.
What a wonderful world.